Translator's note: I have deciphered all relevant entries beginning with first contact up to the last mention of the anomaly by Ekataz, the author of this journal. Week 0. I have vivid memories of when we first saw her standing on the grassy plains outside the compound. Her white skin reflecting the setting sun with blinding intensity. The afternoon air was fresh and cool, the ground muddy from a passing shower. She stood at attention, naked and unmoving, as if waiting to be captured. I remained at the entrance watching as 3 guards slowly make their way to her position, their spears pointing in her direction every step of the way. As soon as they had her within arm's length, she was thrown to the ground and her hands bound behind her back. There was no resistance, but we could never be too cautious when dealing with a suspected Daedra. She stared at me the entire lift right down to the research center. I never returned a gesture, in fear that it was some kind of a play to trigger a conversation. Yeah, that was a fucking awkward elevator ride. Oh no, I was trying to avoid the conversation. Okay. Well done. My brother Overseer Vanchim had been alerted in advance and was already waiting at the entrance at the testing chambers. At his side was several sphere animuncula. The name of your... What? The name of your caste? Vanchim asked. The first question asked for all humanoids from the plains. I took the opportunity to study the creature. A horn protruding... Oh, dude, you should have mentioned that earlier. Earlier it was like, oh, a naked woman, and now it's like a horn? A horn protruding from a forehead, glazed over eyes, flowing white hair, and 2 slits in her back where wings would likely protrude had they not been cut. In response to Vanchim's questions, the creature slowly shook her head. Not wanting to accept silence, Vanchim pressed her further, his tone slightly more aggressive. What is your name? She shook her head again. We don't play games here, Drimona. Who are you? Vanchim asked firmly. A moment of silence, and then she spoke. I am you. You, me. Not amused, Vanchim's face scrunched in disgust. He was about to speak, but she quickly took the opportunity to finish her words. You are the first mortals I have spoken to in a very long time. I am not Daedra. And you ain't dwemer? Vanchim asked instantly not wanting to be compared to the likes of the creature. No, but I will be, she said. Her monotone voice carried no snide undertone, nor any other emotion for that matter. At his wit's end, Vanchim motioned his animunculi to escort her to the chambers, and we followed. What do you think, brother? I asked softly, enough to be out of the earshot of the prisoner. Same procedure. Study her first, likely some abomination from the oblivion. He studied, pulling out a ledger from his robe's pocket. Subject 8311. We put her in a west corridor, have some of the middle-tier people look at her for 3 weeks, then terminate. I glanced at the creature. Agreed. Week 3. It was the final week. Oh my god, finally, I was worried there. For the subject 8311, my researchers studies have yielded nothing peculiar, but her origin was inconclusive. Given our more pressing matters, Vanchim did not see it our best interest to diverting more attention to the creature longer than needed. After termination, her body should undergo a post-mortem study and then disposed. 3 days before her scheduled terminations, I was stopped at the holes en route to my desk by the 4 researchers assigned to studying 8311. All of them had unsettling smiles of content. Do you hear it too? Someone asked me. Hear what? Oh, okay. Hear what? This installation's walls are pretty fortified against tremors. Sounds rarely traveled far. The music. Another researcher said. It is soothing. Puzzled, I guessed the source. Could it be the ventilation again? Someone reported issues down in maintenance last night. Good idea, we go check. The leader and his 3 peers began walking briskly down the hall. I grabbed the one at the tail end of the group by the shoulder. Let maintenance handle it, I said, unknowing why they were so curious about investigating it for themselves. Why are you so afraid? He asked calmly. He escaped my grasp and caught up to the rest of the group. Minutes later I had learned that they all perished in an accident down in maintenance. The fuck? Vanchman and I were present during the interrogation of the subject. Standing outside the cell, we watched as my aide studied her limbs for signs of spellcasting. There was nothing odd about the subject besides her frigid skin. No indication that she was responsible for the death, but the connection was indisputable given the circumstances. Was there no other subjects there? Vanchman dismissed the aide and we walked into the subject's cell. He kneeled down to speak with it at eye level. You killed them. The subject remained silent. Vanchim clutched her throat and began to squeeze. Speak! It's kind of a weird way to get someone to speak, to be honest, but okay. They did it to themselves, it said. I only showed them the path. Vanchim slumped her head against the wall. The subject remained expressionless. Tell me, in plain, speak, what did you do to them? Vanchim's voice was rising. I have effect on people. I can control myself through meditation. Not in this state, she said. Oh, it's a she now, huh? I need special accommodations, else more of your people will die. Vanchim stood up. Threats? You're more trouble than you're worth. He prepared to unshield his dagger. No torch, I said immediately. Tell us exactly what you need. What I need, Ekataz, is a nutrition pool, she said. The fact that she knew my name startled me. I believe you already have the necessary materials to create me. To create one, she said. Vanchim asked suspiciously, what good does it do us to keep you alive any longer? Subject held her eyes on me. Because you need me. Is it gonna fall for this one? Week 10. So much has transpired in the weeks following. Subject, or as we come to call her, the anomaly. Okay. What's the rest of that sentence? I'm not sure. Vanchim, once eager to kill her, at a moment's notice, now was fully dedicating 90% of all resources on studying the anomaly. Really? She actually buys the balls already? How did that happen? Okay. I'm not sure what happened there. Like, she killed 3 people somehow with some kind of mind powers. And then they were like, oh yes, we're gonna keep studying her. What is this? Resident Evil? Like, it's just weird. Oh well. He was dedicating all the time. Okay, our work was quickly gaining attention by the above, of course. Vanchim was taking as much credit as possible in his personal pursuit of promotion. Vanchim is kind of a dick. The anomaly has revealed that she is from the void. Besides the fact, she has refused to say any more, forcing us to uncover further details for ourselves. These are classified but can be found in external writings. Oh, I guess that's what we could find on like the walls in that building maybe. But then no, that'd be classified. I guess not, I don't know. Today, the anomaly and I were scheduled to engage, I wonder how long this is, in final round of logic testing. This involves playing a game of Pirzak to test the subject's mental skills. Of course, nothing like a good game of Pirzak. What the fuck is a Pirzak? The anomaly had already been given a holding cell built just for her, 1 level down and sealed off to prevent contamination among our researchers. Our game was arranged outside in the courtyard by the waterfall, heavily guarded by the anomaly, and I walked out together. The Pirzak board already was set on the table. Could we like take any longer? The game is set on multiple quadrants of an adjustable pyramid structure. One player was with black pegs, another one was white. The objective is to convert the other player's pegs to your side. Kinda what Matari does with people, huh? Okay. We were close into the game when she said... before she said anything. I was close to converting all of her white pegs to my side. She was cornered. You will win, she said. Congratulations. The anomaly was already well versed in the game, having played and won every match until now. That's strange. Was she like giving up? Her strategy for this game was that of an amateur. Is something wrong? You made many noticeable mistakes, I asked. She shook her head. A sign. Forfeit? Yes, Ekataz, she said. I nodded towards the guards, affirming her notion to rebind the anomaly's hands. I got up from my chair ready to return to the research center, but turned to ask one last question. I feel uncomfortable that you know my name, but I don't know yours. Again she held an emotionless, piercing stare, and one that I had become used to ever since learning of her unique predicament. Treat me as you would your kidnapped Nords. I'm just another subject. Names are meaningless. That's some creepy facility though. Week 70 or 76, I cannot fucking tell really. Probably 70. Today was my final day with the anomaly. Construction of the Skies Divide, one of the most ambitious classified projects ever undertaken, was finally completed. Brother Vanchim finally received his promotion. He's such a dick. Lord Kagrenak himself has put Vanchim in charge of Skies Divide and all operations of the northern island. I myself was given Vanchim's former rank as overseer of this research center. Disagreements between my brother and I was the primary reason for the declination of my assignment to Skies Divide. Simply put, my brother is an asshole, and he grew increasingly hostile towards the anomaly. Oh, who she still refers to as it rather than her. Well, I mean, she should. It's dangerous. Vachim used my apparent sympathies as a reason for my insufficient confidence... for his insufficient confidence in my professional work ethic. I mean, yes, you shouldn't be befriending your fucking subjects, duh. I woke up early to see the departure of the anomaly. She was wheeled out on a solid block of void stone. Interesting. Vanchim was certain that her weakened life signs around this material indicated they were her one known weakness. Or was she faking it, maybe? Why did he come here? I asked her. I mean, maybe but void stone, she comes from the void. Should she be weak to the void if she comes from the void? Wouldn't it be the opposite? Anyway. Why did he come here? I asked her as I followed the entourage of guards surrounding her. She smiled. Something I knew she wasn't capable of doing naturally. It was merely a gesture she had learned to perform, which made the final words all the more disturbing. Because I needed you. She manipulated your way all around, you people. Translated note: the journal entries following week 70 are irrelevant to the requested subject focus by the client Lilith. Final entry speaking of a presentation in the amphitheater regarding experimental technology made possible by the anomaly. Given the sudden end of Ikata's entries in the original journal state, it's very possible that the disappearance of the dwemer occurred at this point in time. Ah, so you're saying that she triggered the dwemer disappearance. Interesting. Okay, that's a bit too much shoehorn in there for my liking, but okay.